Hey Arshid, how are you?
Yeah, hi Karan. Yeah, great to meet you.
Likewise, how are you doing?
Yeah, all good, all good. Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for applying to Antler and for taking out the time to chat today. I've gone through your application, I've gone through the Zawata platform to an extent, so I have some context on what you're looking to build and your journey so far. But we'll use the next 20 odd minutes to get to know you better and the reason why you're building what you're building and what the next few months and the next few years look for you, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us the quick intro? I've been with Antler for 3 years now. I've worked with 200 plus founders similar to you. And about Antler, we've done around 60 plus investments in India alone. And this is the fifth residency we're running now, and very excited to work with founders like you. Over to you. I would love to hear your journey growing up, and then where you study, what are your projects like, and then your professional journey.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I actually watched your YouTube podcast, and I actually got a lot of pointers from there, right? As a VC analyst, what do you do? So I love that one. But I actually went to Canada for my studies after after my 12th grade, and that was when COVID was happening, and I was just at home. I was working as a baker in Tim Hortons, and I just wanted to get the fuck out of that place, and because I knew I had a knowledge work to do, and that's why I went on something called Web3 and community building. So that's when I got started, work with Love, Death and Robots, which is actually a show on Netflix, integrating NFTs and all of that. That was a big break for me, and started completely from scratch. And everything that you see right now, the setup, everything, I built it by myself. And I'm just so grateful for all of this. And I think that's when, I actually came back to India because I actually dropped out of college. I was like, I didn't get the point of, college, because I really didn't get the point of college, and I just moved back to India. I still had some debt to pay because that was there, and then started off with my all Web3 career and crypto earnings. It was good, but then I really wanted to build something sustainable, so I went on building Artifin.ai when just ChatGPT launched. I was a complete non-coder, had no idea what JavaScript or anything was. I learned everything by myself using ChatGPT. I'm still doing it right now. So I built Artifin.ai, and then it was acquired by a private equity firm in SF. It was actually acquired for around $30,000 when I listed it on acquire.com. And that was like a really big break for me, and I really got my step into AI enterprise SaaS. That was a simple GPT wrapper, right? It was a simple GPT wrapper, but there was something which was important, which was of course the UI part and the fine tuning part, but I couldn't take it more than that because I spoke to Peak X3, I spoke to 100X. They really said, okay, if you want to take a bet on you, you have to work. You should have worked with McKinsey for 15 years. Why should we take a bet on you? So okay, fair point, no worries. And after that, it was acquired, and now the code base, I think they're taking it to a really next level. But again, I got back to Web3, working. So my dad actually lost a job, so I was all my funds that I made, I had to help out with family. And at 21, when I see all my friends have partying and all that, I'm like, it's fine. I think it's just part of the journey. But now I want to build again, with more conviction, with more insights into the industry. And that's what brings me to Zawata, because from all the problems that I faced in recruiting by myself and also being a candidate from both sides. And it's a very obvious problem to solve for. I think that's what it is. The next step is obviously this. So even my market research has brought me down to these pointers. So yeah.
Got it. And what was that journey like building Artifin? How do you even come across this problem statement around a conversational dashboard? What was that journey from a team perspective? Did you have anyone working with you? How many users or customers did you cater to? Walk me through that journey, please.
Yeah. So Artifin, I started that off once I came back to India, and I'm staying currently in Hyderabad. So I knew a couple of my friends. I was just posting videos. This whole build in public thing. As an indie hacker, I was just posting it all on LinkedIn. Hey guys, this is what I'm building. This is my journey from day 1, day 2, day 3. Just constantly posting on LinkedIn, Twitter, and then surprisingly, my friend from 8th grade, he reached out and was like, "Hey, Harshit, this is Nitin. Do you remember?" I was like, "Yes." And then I saw his profile, I saw mine, and then he came on board as a co-founder. That was great. And then What really helped us out was being a part of T Hub in Hyderabad. I just got some AWS credits. That was actually just building from scratch, and that's how I also built a team. Just posted it out on my network saying, hey guys, we're hiring interns. We give you a certificate and 10,000 rupees for 2 months. You just come on board. We'll just work on this. I don't know where it'll go. You just come on board. We'll just start off. And and I actually from my Web3 world, I had like amazing connections. I think some of them are actually from Antler as well. I think Soumya, he was at Antler. A lot of these connections I had.
Yeah.
And then there was this person called Gaurang. He was, mentoring me. He was like a good mentor, so he was mentoring me. I think mentor was super important for me because, and then my foot into the enterprise model was really difficult. But the first, I only had, to be really honest, I only had 4 customers paying me around $45 a month, and another customer, I think, it churned out because lack of more features, we weren't able to ship that fast. But what I've actually learned from that is you really need some kind of backing if you are in AI, or it's so difficult because right now you can only just run on cloud credits. A great team, of course, but Naval talks about 2 forms of leverage: media and code. Media, I got it figured out with all my content. Code, simple Python scripts. I built all these internal tools that immediately just keep sending, hey guys, we're doing an affiliate program to all affiliates. Hey guys, this is to all accountants, because my dad was an accountant. He had some connect, so that's when I tapped into Capgemini and some of those ones. But I didn't get there into that level, but some niche consulting firms we got. And then one firm from Canada where my friend is currently at, he referred. So yeah, I think that's what we got. And then I say, okay, what if we just try listing this on acquire.com, because we got an offer from the founder of Acquire. I was asking, hey, we like your product, why don't you just see and do this? Because we were stuck. We asked for advice on Twitter. Hey guys, ChatGPT's new update killed my startup. What do I do next? So yeah, I think it was worthwhile. Whatever it was worthwhile. Yeah.
Got it. And what was the main decision to exit so early? What was the thought process between you and your co-founder?
Yeah. So I think firstly, my co-founder, he wanted to apply for a PhD, not PhD, sorry, what do you call it? PG in the US. The Hyderabad folks, they just want to go to the US. But other than that, my thought process there was we were able to build something sustainable, but it's just that I'm not able to scale it big because all these VCs that were spoken to, Raga from Elevation and Vasanta from Peak and all of these people, they were giving us, it was actually good advice. It's like you really can't take it forward in financial analysis because it's a very deep tech startup and you don't really have so much of knowledge in financial analysis, though you have some accounting knowledge. It's just we can't move forward than that. I think that was something that was stopping us, and we were able to talk to some accountants, but they weren't having that conviction to just be on board as mentors or advisors, because it's like, hey, 21-year-olds, ChatGPT something. So okay, let's just try and see. But yeah, that was what it was.
Got it. And what's been the journey over here now? Very exciting to see what you're building in HR tech, and especially with everything that's happening in Gen AI. Automating recruitment is something that has picked up in the last few months. How did you narrow down on this idea? What's been that journey from ideation, validating it, building out the prototype?
Yeah. I think this idea actually came from after my exit and all of that. I was just getting back into Web3 as a job seeker and all of that, and it was just becoming so difficult. So one thing that I've noticed was my name, like Harshit Vadiparthi. Firstly, it's a very indie name, and I was only working with SF based or Toronto based startups. It's a very indie name, and when you're an indie name, the ATS software just catches you off. The biases are there. No matter how much we argue, the biases are there, and plus my name Harshit, it has a curse word like shit in it. So I was just looking into it, and I was actually subscribed to an AI software, and I was curious, like, why is my name being removed? because I come from crypto, because it's anonymity, it's higher skills, not keywords, right? Because I was working with so many good startups, and now some of them have failed, some of them have burnt money. Web3, that's how it is. And when I'm just getting back, it's like it's a whole formal process, and I wasn't just able to understand. And then I was like, okay, what if I build an AI an AI practice platform for candidates? But then I really understood, but why would a candidate just pay for it, and is there a big market in it? Then I've understood, okay, this is something great. I think we have to go B2B model, and that's what I came up to it. And then I've seen YCA just invested in apriora.ai. Right. There are a couple of, I think you guys also invested in Hirebound, right? I think Hirebound is a part of that. So yeah, I think that's how it is. The space is great. The market is great. But yes, I think that was my thought process. And I can just build anything out of scratch. So why don't I just start doing it? And I'm part of Microsoft Founders Hub. So 150K of credits. Google just gave me around 5,000 credits. So basically that's all I need, right? I can just build anything by myself, it's just from scratch. And accelerator, if it's something I think it'll give me a boost. But I was also a little dicey, you guys already invested in Hirebound, so how was that like and all of that. But yeah, that was my point, is that.
Got it. Interesting. And what's been the progress so far in terms of, I think the product has gone live. Have you got any customers, irrespective of whether they pay or not?
No, not so customers. We actually have around 1,000 interviews already conducted, and what I've launched in Product Hunt is basically just a proper dashboard. But the main interviewer, it's called Sia. That I was facing some problems with Azure, so I just got it fixed. So that will be going live this week. And again, it's going for feedback. Just launching on Product Hunt, just posting with my followers, with my connections, just taking feedback. Yeah, we have some soft commitments from a Canadian firm, like my friend he referred, but they want the product, right? So I would say, okay, just give us some time. We're gonna ship this product. We're gonna give it to you. So just talking to customers, just building exactly what they need, nothing else. So that's all. Yeah.
All right. And who's the customer here? What's the ICP that you're targeting? What kind of interviews will you be able to automate or augment using your CR?
Yeah. So firstly, what I'm actually looking at is it's going to be mid-tier recruiting firms and other startups who are struggling to find a recruit, because it takes 50 days to find a really good recruit, and more than $5,000. Also, it's just US-based customers only, US and North American audience. So that's what I'm currently looking at. So yeah.
Got it. But specifically, what sort of roles in the US ecosystem? Who, even if it's mid-market, what kind of specific openings or interviews will you be able to cater to, or is it more a horizontal platform?
So horizontal, it actually can be horizontal, but I think right now in the early stage, I want to niche down as much as possible. And currently, it's going to be for software development, recruiting for software development and other BD roles.
So it's going to be software engineering roles as well as business development.
Correct.
Got it. And let's say I'm Series B company in the US. I'm doing B2B SaaS, and it's a vertical CRM per se. I've probably got 20 engineers that I want to hire in the next 12 months, and let's say 8 sales team members. How does my process change if I adopt your platform?
Yeah. So I think it's going to be with easy integration, because you already are using a lot of ATS software. So it's super easy integration with our platform, and a lot of ATS softwares like Bullhorn, Greenhouse, and all of that. And it's just so automated, because the whole scheduling process it does. First of all, you already must be having a set of candidates who might have applied, or will start off with a simple form that you can build. That also just takes a couple minutes to build. And a form, just post that link on any of your platforms, on your career page, on your LinkedIn page, post that, and then all the data, if you want to do ATS, that's okay, or all the data just comes into Zavata itself, and then from there, just one click, it just goes, and people can just start off with the interview. CR just starts off with the scheduling and then interviewing. It sends off a Calendly link and all of that. So yeah.
Okay, so let's say I am, we will flip it. I'm a candidate. I've applied. What happens? So I get an email through SIA, and who takes who am I chatting in the first round, in the second round? What does the user experience look like?
Yeah. So actually, I have like a small demo if that's okay, if you want to see. But
let's go for it.
Yeah. So this is something with just fine tuning is left, but I'm just gonna share your screen.
Yeah.
I hope this is visible. Just give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is this visible to you? The screen?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah.
And the desk.
Yeah. So this is what the candidate interface is. The candidate sees this. Firstly, the emails and all of them are there. They have like a Calendly link, a link where they can just schedule their own timing, EST, PST, IST, whatever. And then this is what they get. I don't know if you can hear the voice, but it's still some fine tuning left. But this is how the interview starts.
Hey, I am Estee. This will be a short intro call with you to get to know about yourself. Be free and relax. That sounds intriguing. I understand starting that this might interview can indeed conversing with AI for the entire conversation. I really hope to understand. Could you provide more context, share your story with the hiring team? Are you preparing for an interview as an interviewer or interviewee? Or are you referring to a specific type of interview, like a job interview, a journalistic interview, or something else? The more information you provide, the better.
Yeah. So there's some simple fine tuning and some bugs left still to be fixed, but this is like the basic dashboard of how it's going to be. And we acknowledge that, hey, this is an AI interviewer. It might be a little new to you, but we're going to start this off. So that's how it starts off, because there's no point faking it. And also there is face to, for myself to see, because it has to be a little bit more human and not just talking to a chatbot. But that's basically how it starts off. And once that's done, candidate also gets feedback saying, hey, thank you so much. We've done the interview. And of course, the recruiter, when he goes back in his AI interviews, he can see all of this. And something cool that we actually added is, general information out of there, you can expand with AI. Interview questions also you can select. So it's basically like a meta level of, you might have like questions like, do you have an H-1B visa? Because
you can customize it.
Exactly. And it's these are like first level of filtration, because why do you need a real person to ask like simple questions like, hey, do you have a H-1B visa? Can you work in the US? Simple questions, right? All of that can be automated. And of course, the second round would be human, and that's what I'm pushing for, because it has to be human. Because what I've got from Reddit is some candidates say, hey, why would it's so inhumane to talk to a bot? But from my experience, when candidates tested it out, they loved it, because it's not resumes, right? Every candidate gets a chance to talk, to speak, to share their story. And all of that comes back to the dashboard. So that's the key here. And I think this is the future. I can just see it happening. So yeah, that's the dashboard here, Karan. But yeah, still some bugs there, still in localhost. Applying for accelerators to see if I can get help. But
no, makes sense, absolutely. What does the team look like?
The team, it's just me right now. It's just me building it out from scratch. It's just me. I do have my previous co-founders in a Slack bot, in the Slack channel, just helping out and all of that. But I really don't know why else would I need a team right now. Of course, to scale and all of that, I would, but initial stage right now, really no point of me paying them, 30,000, 40,000 salary when I can just use that in my credits, because I can code, I can sell. So right now, yeah, I think it's just, that's how it is, I can just build AI bots and all of that. Of course, you need a team, but this is what I'm saying, like initial couple of weeks. So, yeah.
Got it. And what's the roadmap for the next 6 months?
Roadmap for the next 6 months, it has to be get 100 customers and 100 affiliate candidates, and just go all in on SEO, LinkedIn, Twitter, everybody who's, just go, just build in public and all that. But, numbers to speak, it has to be 100 customers and 100 affiliates. Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. This is super helpful. It's pretty much it from my end. Harshit, any questions, anything you want to know about Antler? Happy to take them.
Yeah. So firstly, it's a very obvious question that I have. So I understand we're having this conversation, but you guys also invest, because I just saw a post on your LinkedIn just a week ago that you guys wrote a pre-seed check to Hirebound, and it's very obvious that you might be having conflict of interest as well. So this call, it was great, but what's like the thing? I mean, is it just to understand how that is, or this is, or like is there some movement? Is there something here? Because even in residency, if you guys take into residency, that means you're taking into residency so that you help the founders, right? Because you really do help founders, and I do know that. See Neha Reddy and all of those people. You guys really do help founders, but why would you want to help another conflicting competitor company when you already have someone in your portfolio, Hirebound?
Right. So see, the conflict or the overlap with Hirebound is quite limited. They are not an AI interviewer. They are more a co-pilot where they will augment recruiters to identify candidates better, while the interview, that process is something that they're not touching, right? So
got it.
What they might essentially do is help out of mine the right CVs, right? How do you identify, especially for staffing firms where they get tons of CVs, how are you able to match make better? How are you able to sort of increase the efficiency of a recruiter? They're not replacing or taking the interview as a Hirebound application or a bot, right? So that's
got it.
one bit. The second bit is, again, unless there's like a massive overlap is when we don't engage. Again, getting someone into the residency, the goal is, of course, to invest in them, but also to help them find a co-founder, help them move quicker on an idea. And if there is not much of an overlap, we usually bring them in, work with them for a month or two, and then take a call whether if it's the direct conflict or not.
Got it. In that case, Karan, I'm honestly telling you, just get me in, man, please, because I've seen your points where you talk about three things. It's the idea, it's what's your product like, and the timing. It is, all of them are aligned properly, Karan, and it's just nobody took a bet on me. It's just so difficult to start from scratch and not having a backing, right? It's just, man, I've seen your video, I've seen your podcast, I've seen the operations head, the operations mindset that you have. That's something I truly need at this stage, because I'm not saying, hey, I'm perfect, I can just do everything by myself. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm just trying to sell myself here, because I got a chance there, Karan. But yeah, man, that's what it is.
Thank you for the time and for being so candid. This is a super competitive process. We got around 10,000 applications. We have to narrow it down to 60 to 80.
Correct.
Give us a few days. We'll chat internally with the team and come back to you on our thoughts on next steps, etc.
Sure. Perfect, Karan.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Have again.
Yeah, you too.
Yes. Bye-bye.